informed that now I have a vision challenge, but it's not the end of me.
Okay.
Yes.
I will say it, on my side, it wasn't too bad.
Sorry. Sorry viewers, I'm just being informed that we had no audio when we began the show. So yet again, I'm going to reintroduce the whole show. Do we still have audio? Do we still have audio? Can somebody confirm? Whoever is online, please confirm to us if we have audio, because I know the visuals are okay.
The visuals are okay.
The audio, please. If you can hear us, please wave. If you're online, please wave. If you're hearing me, please wave.
It's black. It is not. Why?
Can we use the other mic? Okay, we are back again. So, Metrine, I think, can we just go a little bit back to when now you're telling us your coping mechanisms, because you've now told us that you were not born with the vision challenge. You got the challenge when you were 7 years old. So tell us about now that transition from sight to now the vision challenge.
Okay, thank you so much. What I would say about that is that to me it wasn't a very big challenge because I was a child. Unlike to a person who is a grown-up, when a person is a grown-up and maybe he or she gets a challenge, maybe when this person is either working or maybe a student at a higher level,
yes,
coping mechanisms to them could be a very big challenge.
yes.
But to me, it wasn't a very big challenge because I was still a child and I was growing. Only that when I grew up, I now separated with most of my friends that we were growing up with them because they could not come playing with me. They could not now walk together with me. I was now always at home because I could not play like any other child.
Yes.
I could not walk with them. I could not do everything that I used to do before. So that was a very big challenge to me. And also, it was a bit hard for me to go now start learning Braille. I go learn new things and no longer read with using my eyes. I'll now be reading using my fingers or my hands.
Yes.
Now it was that was some challenge, but now coping, it wasn't so hard for me. But at least I was able to manage.
Okay. Do you have siblings, Metrine?
Yes.
Because now you've said your friends dropped along the way. They dropped the friendship because, of course, they were used to Metrine with sight, but now this is another new Metrine.
Yes.
So how did your siblings help you out at home? How did they perceive now this new challenge as a family?
Okay, first I have siblings. I was born in a family of 11 children.
Wow.
And I'm the second born.
Second, okay.
7 girls and 4 boys. And it was not easy for them also to accept that their sister has now gone blind. Okay. Even to my parents, it wasn't easy for them to accept that I was blind. Okay. And now by then when I was born, when I became blind, we were not yet 11.
Yes.
We were still few.
Okay.
And considering that I was that young age, meaning my parents were still young.
Yes.
So the acceptance of the parents was a bit hard. They were not really believing that their child has gone blind. Okay. So it was so hard. I remember even at one point my dad, when I went to school, he could not believe that now this one is going to school and is going to learn.
A new thing.
He always assumed that being trained on doing maybe some activities, like maybe us being taught on how to do shoemaking, or maybe shoe repairing,
Some
or
handwork,
knitting. Yes, handwork, but not really the normal
theory
curriculum.
and stuff.
Yes.
That
so,
excites even the intelligence in you.
Yes. So he didn't even believe that what I was doing was true until I think when I did my Form 4, and he was being told now by my teacher that now your girl has passed very well, is going to university, is now well to be trusted. And also along the way, now that I joined in a regular school, I was learning with my friends from the village. So when they came home, they used to tell him, oh, we learn with him the same class, and we do the same thing. Now somehow he developed trust along the way. Yes.
Tell us about this integrated system in school, because you said for your O level, from 1 to Form 4, you went to just a normal school where it was integrated. How was that experience for you?
I would say integrated life was not so good to me. It was a very bad experience. To some extent was good because it was hardening me to know the true life that I go through, maybe.
Yes.
Learning in a school with the students without a disability, they were just wondering. Some of them were taking it negatively, some of them positively. Now why have you come here? There's no school that can accommodate you. That was from my colleagues and even from teachers. Some teachers were very negative, and we could not be alone. There was also a teacher who was trained to serve as students with visual challenges. So she was serving as a link between us and teachers, a link between us and other students, so that at least we may have smooth life in that school. So whenever that teacher could miss there, then we could have so many challenges. We find that we are not even well served, we are not supported well. In class, even nobody will listen to us because maybe they could think that we are not supposed to be there, we are supposed to have gone to a special school. And during my time, there was only one secondary school that could accommodate the blind. There was one special school secondary, countrywide, that is Thika School for the Blind. That was the only secondary school, and then 6 primary schools countrywide. So we only had one, and imagining to afford to go to that school, it was not easy. First, it was very far from Transoya, and also school fees was just expensive, so it wasn't possible for me to go there. And luckily enough, the integrated had begun, so I joined one. Yes.
Do you think the stigma in school has a little bit gone down?
I would say it has gone down, and also finally when we met with our colleagues, when I met my colleagues from Thika School for the Blind, they even preferred to be integrated. They said that in integrated you learn how to interact with your colleagues, and also the world outside there. Everybody's not blind. Everybody, people are of different types, of different caliber, of everything different. So you are not going to interact with the blind out there. So they even preferred that. They said that at least when you go into such an institution, that is whereby you learn on how to interact with the colleagues. And even in colleges, we don't have special colleges, we don't have special universities. There you will find that everybody's just there, and you learn with any other person. You don't now learn with your colleagues who have the same challenge.
Now, fast forward to today. Give us your normal schedules for the day or for the week. When you wake up on a Monday, how is your day like all through to Friday?
Okay, my day usually, I wake up at around 6, and and then I start preparing to go to work.
Okay.
Usually my pace of working is very slow, so I need to wake up very early so that at least I prepare, go to work. So when I wake up, I prepare breakfast for my children, and then after I have prepared for them the breakfast, I can now go and bathe, and then when I'm done, I prepare myself at least by 8:20 or 8:30 I should be at work. Yes.
How many kids do you have, Metrine?
I'm a mother of 4. Even my firstborn has done KCPE this year.
So he or she currently sitting for KCPE?
She has already done it.
Okay.
They completed last week.
Oh, okay, last week.
Yes.
Oh, you said KCPE, sorry, I had KCSE.
No.
Okay, so you see, when you say that you prepare breakfast for your kids,
Yes.
somebody wonders like, Metrine has a vision challenge, so how is she able to prepare breakfast for the kids? And your tagline was that you don't lose your focus.
Yes.
Explain that to the
Okay.
viewers.
Maybe I'll start a little bit far a bit. When we were in school, especially in primary,
Yes,
we were being taught to be independent.
yes.
So most of the things we used to be taught, we used to be taught how to be independent, washing our own clothes, even cooking. That time we used to have a subject called home science. So we were always trained how to cook, how to wash our clothes,
Yes.
how to go to the river and even fetch water for yourself.
Yes.
And after that, in secondary, I did home science up to Form 4.
Yes.
Because usually us, students with the vision challenge, whether you are a boy or a girl, compulsorily you do home science as your second science subject.
Yes.
Because we usually do chemistry and physics up to Form 2 level.
Yes.
And then Form 3 and 4 we do home science as our second science subject because biology is compulsory to us.
Yes.
So because of all that, it has really assisted me to be independent. I do everything on my own. I cook for my children, I wash their clothes, I wash mine, and I do everything in my house.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said you wake up and then at 6 you prepare breakfast for your kids and
Yes.
then you bathe.
Yes.
Yeah. I had left you there before I interrupted you with this other question.
Yes, and then after I have prepared breakfast for them, now I go to bed, then I prepare myself. By 8, I should be off to work. And then I'll be in the office, depending on how the week is or how the day is, because there are so many issues that come along the way. During the day, you can find that there is an issue that comes unplanned for, and you have to attend to it. And then also maybe if that week maybe I have some field work, like maybe I'm doing some mass assessment out there, I'll go. And if that week I have no mass assessment, I'll do something else, like maybe for example, serving my clients, the ones that come to the office. Maybe if I have some checks to supply to schools, I go supply. If I have some checks for the groups, I supply. And if that week I've planned that I'll monitor my groups that we supplied to them the checks, I'll monitor them. We also do the tools of trade and also do the monitoring. Depending on how I've planned my week, that is accordingly how I do. Yes.
Now, Metrine, Sugapepper Facebook Live Wonder Woman Edition is a show that illuminates the Wonder Woman and what women are doing in the community, in the society, like what is on the ground. So most people, sometimes when I bring guests here, are not aware of the things that are happening in Busia County, and also this is a platform whereby people get to know what are the protocols to be followed, is this what happens in these offices and stuff. So when you talk about clients, who are you talking about? Who are the clients that you're referring to when you say that you sit in the office and then you serve your clients?
Okay. As the name suggests, the disability officer,
Yes.
the county disability services officer in Busia County.
Yes.
I I work with National Council for Persons with Disabilities.
Yes.
So mainly my clients are persons with disabilities.
Yes.
Could also be parents of children with disabilities. Could also be teachers of children or students with disabilities.
Yes.
Could also be friends, stakeholders.
Yes.
They also visit us in our office to find out some information on how best they can serve persons with disabilities. So basically, those are my clients.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a definite list of the disabilities, or it's always just an endless list? Because as we keep on living, as we always have emerging disabilities. Is there a definite list, or the special needs is just an open list that will have people coming in, like disabilities coming in as they emerge?
Okay, we have categories of disabilities,
Okay.
and the categories of disabilities are the ones that we base on. Now, when they come, is when we serve them depending on their needs and the categories with different needs.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you care to mention the categories?
I won't mind that.
Okay.
There are some categories of disabilities, like for example, you have visual challenge. That is a disability.
Yes.
We also have those ones with physical challenge.
Yes.
Physical challenge would be maybe they have a challenge with the leg or with the foot, or maybe the one foot is amputated,
Okay.
or one hand is amputated, or even both.
Okay.
They could also be short.
Okay.
And those ones we call them as people with short stature,
Okay.
but not dwarf.
Okay.
That is how we refer to them.
Okay.
We also have the category of albinism.
Okay.
Those are persons with albinism as a result of lack of melanin in their bodies.
Yes.
We also have those ones with hearing, is another category.
Yes.
We also have those ones with mental challenges, the ones that people call them mad, but in National Council or with our dignity, we don't call them mad, we call them persons with mental challenges. We also have epileptic, is also a disability.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I would like to give a shout out to our viewers who are tuned in. Thank you so much, Honorable Joseph Omukoya Shiundu, Andre Blackimani, Sunday O. Eric passes regards, greetings to our able mother Metrine. As a person with disability, we are proud of you. I think you know Eric Sunday.
Yes.
He says he knows you, so he has sent his greetings. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in. Keep it locked here and keep your questions coming. I'd like to talk about albinism. Is sight also, does sight go hand in hand with albinism? Because I always see most of the people with albinism also suffer a vision challenge.
Sure. Persons with albinism, apart from their skin, there are those ones who are severely affected by their sight. Their sight is severely affected, and we have those ones whose sight is mildly affected. So they also suffer the same.
Okay.
Yes.
And hydrocephalus, they fall under which disability, which category?
Those ones are that is a physical disability.
It's a physical disability.
Yes.
And then mention in your years of having a vision challenge, also in your years of being a special needs tutor, want also to call you an expert. Do you think there is a disability or a challenge that is not rehabilitative? That other people will say like, haina haja nishughulikie huyu mtu na naona hatawahi saidika. Is there a disability that has that kind of a term on it?
Sincerely speaking, there are some disability. Like for example, when a person is severely mental, when a person has that mental severeness, that one surely the person cannot be rehabilitated. Because like for example, this person is totally mental. The mental, he has no coordination of anything. Maybe this person just sleeps.
Yes, in the night.
Yeah, so that one surely is beyond the assistance. Maybe this person just needs that total care and total support of the caregiver for the survival.
Okay.
So there is that one. If person is severely affected.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you live close to or around a parent, a custodian of such a severe case, what am I as Onana supposed to do to support that family? Because today you might wake up and say, okay, good, wacha nimwogeshe ako sawa nini, nimweke kwa jua, you're giving that total care, and then the next day you're like, I'm doing this, but I am never ever going to get this person back.
Yes.
Sometimes even people wish that this person was just taken away from them so that they would just live without that kind of mental distress or mental challenge in handling this kind of a person. So as Onana, what would you advise me to do for a custodian or a parent with a person who has this kind of a special need?
Okay. So what I would just advise is that especially this parent or this caregiver needs a lot of counseling, needs a lot of encouragement, because actually it's not easy. And secondly, that's why we usually have our program called cash transfer, so that this person can get some little cash, because this person needs total care. And because of that, this person can't go far from this person. Maybe this person is able to get some little cash that will help to keep this household going.
Or even motivate.
Yes, and even this person or this caregiver, the parent, can even open a small door business, that he or she can run, so that he can be able to take care of this person, so that they may not go far from the person, because actually this one needs a 24/7 care. You can't go far from this person.
We've sometimes heard of cases whereby news media, they just get these persons with disabilities, and you get this man or this woman has been held, like imprisoned, let me use that term, imprisoned in their homes for 20 years plus. They have never even been taken for assessment, so that they are categorized as a person with a disability. What would be your advice for such homes? Because now you've talked about cash transfer, and I know there are people who are not even aware that there is this kind of a program by the government to its citizens.
So first, any person that you suspect has a disability, this person must go through the process of medical assessment, and it is done by the doctors. After this person has been assessed, has been proved that actually this person has a disability and is categorized into those categories that I have mentioned earlier. And then after that, we get these medical reports signed by the Director of Medical Services. We usually call it the DMS signature. And also it has the remarks. So these remarks are the ones that are going to guide us that this person is eligible for registration as a person with disability. Now we go ahead registering this person. After now we have registered this person, the importance of registering this person is that so that we may know exactly the exact number of persons with disabilities in the whole country for better planning. And also now, after this person has gotten this card, registration number or the registration card, is now one person is eligible to access our services, because most of our services are accessible through the system, and the system can only recognize a person who is registered. If you are not registered, then the system is not able to recognize. Yes.
Can you mention to us these services that the government offers for persons with disabilities?
Okay, these services that the government offers to the persons with disabilities. First is the registration. We are supposed to, that is the primary service. Every person with a disability needs to be registered.
Yes.
And then secondly, now as the need of the person is. We know the needs of persons with disability are diverse. And so because of that, we have various programs for various disabilities. Like for example, the cash transfer program. It is usually for persons with severe disabilities. Because these ones maybe cannot do any other thing, they cannot go to school, so they are not eligible to be given school fees, and so we just give them cash transfer. And also there's another program of school fees, educational assistance. We support those ones who are in school already, especially in primary special schools, secondary special or public or the usual ones, and colleges and universities. We pay for them fees. We also do assistive devices. Now this assistive devices is a very wide program. It has different types of devices depending on the disability. Like for example, we have devices for persons with visual challenge. That is the white cane. And we also have the braille machine. It is also an assistive device. We also have the devices for those ones with the hearing challenges. We have the hearing aid for those ones who can hear partially, so that it boosts their hearing. We also have those ones for physical challenges, like when a person has amputated his or a hand or even her foot, he can be given the prosthesis. We also have those ones who need the wheelchairs and the tricycle. We also have those ones who may also need the crutches and others too. Yes.
You've mentioned the white cane.
Yes.
And I've not seen you with a white cane. What are your thoughts about using the white cane?
The white cane is very much okay. I have it in the car. I've left it outside.
Okay.
But I have it.
Okay.
Yes.
Back to now the devices. Is there a particular place here in the county where somebody can go and purchase these devices for their special needs people, or it's ordered from Nairobi because it's the capital city for obvious reasons?
Okay, there are some devices that can be manufactured locally by our doctors and the referral, but it must be a specific one that they are able to manufacture it with our local materials.
Okay.
So when they visit the orthopedic technologists in the hospital, we'll advise them further on the devices. But in our office, we usually have the form, the assistive device form. They come to the office and fill that form, and then we request for them from Nairobi. But also, not all of them are found in Nairobi. There are also those ones that are imported. So once they place their orders, now they collect all the orders countrywide, then they begin the procurement process by looking for the service providers, and then we finally get them. Yes.
So when somebody registers with your commission, the council, sorry, what are the advantages?
Now the advantages are that this person will be able to benefit from the programs that comes. Like for example, that fees, and maybe the person is in need of it, will benefit. And maybe when a person has the issue of devices, will benefit. And when also a person with albinism is looking for services, we usually give them the clothing and a wide brimmed hats. We also give them sunscreen lotion, and also we do economic empowerment for the groups, and we also encourage them when they apply, the members produces the disability registration cards so that they be part of their documents. Yes.
Do you have support groups for custodians of people living with special needs? Because sometimes it becomes too much on your mental health that you just need to, meet people like you who are going through your kind of parenting, and you just need to sit in a circle and just speak about your experiences. Is there some sort of a program that involves the custodians, parents?
That one, usually they have them in groups.
Okay.
Maybe there are those ones who have come together. They do different activities. But sometimes when I have some outreaches, I can even go to barazas. I can even visit them in their groups. I can even go to some schools and speak to them, and even polytechnics. Like recently I was in a massive vocational training, and they requested that they wanted me to speak to them. I spoke to them to give them information, to give them, to empower them with some issues there, here and there about disability, on how they can identify, on how they can advise them, they can direct them where to. Yes.
Okay. Somebody told me to ask you about tax exemption for people with special needs. If you can highlight that for that person, because I know she will be listening in.
Okay, tax exemption is one of the services. I didn't mention all the services that we do because there are so many. There are about 17. Tax exemption is done to those ones working on their income. They fill a form with us, and there are attachments that they are supposed to attach, including the card, the registration card, the medical report, the pay slip. There are so many documents, around 7 documents that they are supposed to attach on the form. After they brought them to the office, we verify if the attachments are okay. Then I forward it to my HQ in Nairobi. They also confirm and verify, make sure that it is okay. Then they forward it to KRA for printing of the certificate. Because as National Council, we don't print the certificate. We just facilitate to make sure that right people are the ones benefiting from the program. Yes, we also have the exemption of those ones who do small businesses at the county level, whereby they are supposed to be written to letters so that they do their businesses comfortably without the interference of the council of the county. Yes.
Would you know the number of schools that are special needs schools in Busia County? And if you would also just care to speak to the viewers so that they know these schools are not very far from them, they're very accessible to them, and they're able to bring their children to these schools to be helped. Yes.
We have so many special schools in Busia. In Budalangi we have Rubunga Special for the mental. We also have
That's a primary school.
It's a primary school.
Okay.
It's a primary school special for children with mental challenges.
Okay.
We also have Nangina in Funyula for the mental again. And then we have St. Catherine's Butula Vocational for the mental. We also have Monica Special for the hearing challenge. And we have Apegay for physical challenge in Teso South. We also have Apopol for mental challenge in Teso South again. We also have Accurate for the hearing. That one is secondary school, St. Bridget's Accurate for the hearing. We also have Kakemer. Kakemer is for mental. And we also have Sugapepper is for hearing, in Teso North. Yes.
When you say it's a school for special needs, it means it's specifically for people with special needs, or it can also be an integrated school?
No. It is purely for that challenge. Yes. Like maybe if it is for mental, it is only for mental. Yes.
So you have mentioned these schools, and I've noticed that you have not mentioned any school that is for people with vision challenge.
Sure.
Yes.
It is true in Busia, we don't have a school for learners with a visual challenge. And because of that, they usually go into a neighboring county. In Siaya, we have special school for the visually impaired. We have both the primary and the secondary. We also have another one in Kisumu, both primary and secondary. Yes.
I have a cousin who is very much interested in sign language, and of course there are people that want to go and study special needs, the special needs course. So when these courses are advertised, is it only for people that have challenges, or also these other people that do not have challenges can also just go and study these courses and help the people with special needs?
Yeah. First, I want to say that especially the schools that I've mentioned, most of them are headed by people without disabilities. It's only that they have gone into study special education, they have the knowledge. That's why they are taking care of these different categories of disabilities in their various schools. And sign language as a course is usually offered in Kenya Institute of Special Education, Nairobi. When a person is interested, can apply there and will be given a chance. At the same time, as National Council, because we are government, we are also interested in government officers. If a government officer is interested, we usually have that program for them. And right now we are moving even to county level. We want also to request the governors to support their people, their workers, their employees, so that they can serve better persons with disabilities. They can go in for that course, they get the knowledge, they get to know, so that they can, when they come back and a person with hearing challenge visits them, they are able to communicate with them fluently and serve them accordingly.
Okay.
Yes.
How easy and how fast is it for somebody to learn Braille or to learn a sign language? If I'm an adult, because otherwise, if you're a child, you're able to cope up in a very fast, like in a very speedy manner. But
Yes.
now for an adult, me who is already grown, how long would it take me to learn Braille or even learn a sign language and be of help to people with special needs?
Okay, especially when I begin with Braille, because that is my area.
Yes.
In most cases, it is not really easy to grown up to learn Braille. Because here you are, you've been reading using your eyes.
Yes.
And finally you have to read using your
The
fingers.
fingers.
It's not usually easy. You'll find that even some of them say that their fingers do not sense, do not see anything. So I usually feel it's not so easy.
Okay.
But people without visual challenge, when they go in to learn the Braille, they usually use their eyes.
Yes.
And they do it very well. And also sign language, it depends with your interests.
Yes.
Once you have your interest, similarly to Braille too, when you have your interest, you'll learn whatever you are interested in. Because we have so many teachers, even in these special schools with hearing, for hearing. Well, I think one of these fun days you'll have to look for one teacher in charge of special school, special maybe hearing, or even the one who knows Braille. They'll be in a position of explaining to you better. But I know all of this depends on one's interest.
Okay.
Yes.
I will definitely have one, because when I met you,
Yes.
I was following up on Trevor's case. In a minute, you're going to talk about Trevor,
Yes.
and you gave me Janet, also the county coordinator for APDK. We shall still have her come to the show and
Yes.
speak on what she does as APDK, and also the teacher, to tell us about how fast is it for somebody to learn Braille or even a sign language.
Yes.
Is there a school in Busia County where somebody can go and enroll for these courses, or they're in
No.
other counties?
It is not there. It is
Okay.
only Kenya Institute of Special Education that offers that.
Okay.
But now they usually have their outreaches
Okay.
that they call distance learning. Now these ones, when a person applies, they'll be allocated where they'll access so that they do their course comfortably.
Okay. So viewers, I met Metrine through an acquaintance, Susan Mutenyo. I was forwarded a case, Trevor. Trevor is a physically challenged boy. He is 12 years. He has never been in school. So when I was following up on Trevor's case, then I was forwarded to Madam Metrine Wamalwa. So now to Trevor's case, not specifically Trevor's case, but hypothetically, if you got a parent, a custodian, who has a child like Trevor who has a special needs, and they are not, they've not put Trevor in a school, are they liable for a criminal offense or a civil offense? Or somebody asked me about that, so I thought I would ask you that so that you're able to just clear the air. If such a parent can be, can we say sentenced because of negligence, some sort of negligence for having not put this child in school?
Okay, to me, I usually say this person does not deserve that.
Okay.
Because sincerely speaking, a person who takes care of a child with disability, the life is not that easy.
Yes.
And sometimes when they get their children being disabled, they get a lot of problems.
Yes.
They get a lot of, they are psychologically also affected.
Very.
Because them, their expectation is that they give birth to normal children, and these children grow up well just like any other person, and this child is responsible, they go to school just like any other. But now to their surprise, or to the opposite, things happen. So I think these people needs a lot of counseling. Once you find this parent, try to find out. And in most cases, you find that this home may be very needy. And maybe they are not aware of what happens. So let them be told first, let them get information.
Yes.
Maybe after they have resisted what you have told them, now you can take action. But before that, let them be aware of what is supposed to be done, and then see their response.
Okay.
Yes, it is out of their response or their reaction is now when you take action.
Okay.
Yes.
Still when I was still following up on Trevor's case,
Yes.
so we were trying to get which school you are going to put him in,
Mm.
and then there were allegations that in this school there is a lot of mistreatment, usipeleke mtoto wako huko huwa uangalie watoto vizuri. So I don't know, and there is an assessor that said yes, there was mistreatment in one of the schools, but the people that were doing the mistreatment were done away with. Is that one also part of your portfolio? Like, do you handle such cases that happen in schools with the special need kind of care?
I do not handle,
Okay.
but in case it has come, I have to make a follow-up
Okay.
and raise it up with the management so that we see how to assist our pupils or our learners with disabilities.
Yes.
Actually, when it has come up, I can't keep quiet.
Okay.
I have to make a follow-up. Maybe it was there before I came. I've not even heard about it. But if I had, I'll wake up immediately and follow it up.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of retribution do you give? Because this is a caregiver in a special needs school, and then they have done mistreatment on a special needs person. So when you're now disciplining these people, I would, if it were me, I would like now cancel even if there is some sort of a license. Like, this person will never ever even have to be a caregiver or even a tutor in a special needs. What are the disciplinary measures that are put for such type of caregivers in the schools?
Okay, so far, there is no guideline
Okay.
concerning the same.
Okay.
But I think it is with the management of that particular institution.
Okay.
They are the ones who should make sure that actually this person is well disciplined.
Okay.
But now I have to follow it up also. It's a challenge also on my side.
Yes.
That in case we have such like an issue or a case, how do we sort it out? Yes.
You see, why I say that, because people are are repeat offenders. Just 2 days ago, Mary Makoha of RIP gave us an account of somebody that was a sexual offender. He had served his sentence and had been released 6 months ago. And a few days ago, he again committed the same offense. Yes, so now also for a caregiver, when they do a mistreatment and they're dismissed from this facility, of course they're able to apply to another facility and they continue with the same mistreatment. So I'm thinking if they are dismissed, they're just supposed even to be excommunicated from any school that is a special needs school.
You know, sometimes maybe somebody can, in most cases, maybe the caregiver, they don't look for somebody who is trained.
Okay.
Maybe they can just look for a person from the community who is willing to do the work, who is willing to offer the services of the caregiving. They employ them, but usually they are not always trained. Maybe in future they need also to be trained on how to handle these children, because maybe some of them may not be knowing exactly what is supposed to be done. That's why maybe they make a lot of mistakes out there. Yeah.
Metrine, I'm going to ask you a very sensitive question. It's sensitive because you just told us that you are not born with a disability, and it's a fellow pupil that poked your eye with a pencil.
Yes.
Why I'm going to ask you this question is because weeks ago also, my daughter was at school, and her friend, her colleague, her fellow pupil pushed her from behind. She came from behind her and pushed her with so much force that she fell to the ground and broke her wrist. And nobody did a follow-up to me, her parent, to even find out and also reach out to me to even apologize for what happened. And I was there thinking, this is such a parent that is not thoughtful and is not even sensitive, and also the teachers of that school, because if my daughter came to the teacher and said so and so pushed me, then the least they could have done is to have the parent also come in and we also discuss, because you know, when a child does this and they do not get retribution for what they did because you have caused an injury to somebody else and it is not discipline, then that means you are condoning the act, and this child will not learn and might go further to cause more harm. So now, as a mother, as a parent, what would be your advice to parents out there? Because through that kind of injury, you lost your vision.
Yes.
And it has harmed you even before that, because I'm thinking you could have been somebody else had you grown up with sight.
Yes.
Yes. It's a sensitive question, but I would want you to, speak to parents that are lax in, disciplining their kids.
Okay, to me, I would say first, when it happened to me, it's my dad who requested for forgiveness.
Okay.
He even said, we just forgive each other.
Okay.
We don't make follow-ups of these things.
Yes.
And at first also, it was not known that it was going to affect me adversely.
Yes.
They thought that maybe it was just something that has happened and it won't be so serious. But now with times when they realized that it was a serious thing.
Okay, yes.
But to the parents, first I want to advise parents that please teach your children good manners, compassion, let them play with their friends well, in a friendly manner.
Yes.
And also parents be understanding. There are those parents whose children, when they have wronged your children and you tell them, I'm telling you, they will not have peace with you.
Yes.
Like me, I remember where I stay. Once my neighbor's children have wronged my children, and I try to ask them.
Yes.
You will find that even that parent will start coming, telling me, what is this blind woman telling me? I mean, it's like they always wait for that chance to just remind me about my blindness. So sometimes parents, we should be understanding.
Yes.
If you have children, you just have to be very understanding, because sometimes things can happen,
Yes.
and it can even affect you. If maybe you do me like that today because I'm blind, but tomorrow you find another parent
Yes.
who is not be like me,
Yes.
and will do you funny things.
Yes.
So it is just good for parents to be understanding when things have happened. Let us help each other. Let us be understanding. Let us be close to one another.
Yes.
Support each other, and to make sure that at least this child is not harmed, is not affected so much.
Or grow up being, they're just kids that
Yes.
they're just truant. Hata umwambie kitu hawezi akasikia.
Sure.
Yes, and their parents, unaona tu, you tell them
And
this
some
child
of them
of
even
yours.
support.
Yes.
Yes. So the parents, we should not support such like funny behaviors from our children, because especially when you say like that, before this child and before that person who is reporting to you, you know your child will even be worse. Yes, because they know that they are supported by their parents. Yes.
Okay. There is this thing about people going to the media or even taking photos, like when there is somebody with a challenge, with a disability, instead of now following the correct protocols of coming to your office, registering and doing stuff, people always want to run to the media and air out these stories, and you get people making a lot of promises and also not fulfilling them. What would you tell the community about that?
I would tell the community that before they go to the media, let them come to the office,
Yes.
get the right information.
Yes.
Like for example, most of our services, they are coordinated from Nairobi.
Yes.
As we just received the feedback. Like I remember last year, we were given information that we are supposed to register 100 people per constituency to benefit from COVID fund.
Yes.
And the people came to the office, they wanted even to beat us. Because they were claiming, how can you just register 100 people per constituency?
Yes.
Does it mean that only 100 persons with disabilities are found in a constituency? Yet this was just a communication from Nairobi.
Yes.
We received that communication to implement the same at the ground level here. So we do what we are instructed, and we give you what we are given. What we have not been given, we cannot give you. Well, because where will we find that? So in case, before you go to the media,
Yes.
please come to the office to get the clarification,
Okay.
and then now we will advise each other further.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you work? How do you complement with the other groups of people that are challenged, people with disabilities? How do you work with them?
The other groups of persons with disabilities.
Yes, the ones that have their chairmen, their treasurers, and their secretaries. How do you work with them?
They help me so much,
Okay.
because they are where I can't reach,
Yes.
and I can't be everywhere
Yes.
at the same time.
They're your eyes on the ground.
Yes, they do me a lot. In case of anything, when the program is on, I call them.
Yes.
I call them up to that grassroots level.
Okay.
They take, I give them the right information, and then they are the ones to make sure that their members are aware of what is happening in our office.
Okay.
Yes.
So Metrine, there is somebody that has been sitting and watching and listening, and they would want to come to your office. Would you mind telling us where your office is and what time are you? Can somebody get you in the office, and whom they would find in the office in case you're not around?
Okay. My office is at the County Commissioner's Building, Busia.
Perfect.
It is room number 6. It is called National Council for Persons with Disabilities. And if I'm not around, my intern is there, and my volunteer is also there.
Okay.
So when they visit us there, they find us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Metrine, for for the interview. I would like to do some shout out. Sorry, Princess B, thank you so much for viewing. Satatu Junior, ndio naingia nikalie wapi, kalia hapo hapo ulipo. Abukayo Murunga from the Border Hub sends greetings to you, Madam Metrine, and she says you're so amazing. Thank you for the work that you're doing. As we come to the end of the show, I would just want to remind you people that we are in the third wave of COVID-19. I hope you're social distancing. I hope you're washing your hands. I hope you're sanitizing. I hope you're being aware that COVID is here with us, and you're taking the prerequisite measures by the World Health Organization of staying safe. If you have not been vaccinated, please reach out to a vaccination location and get your dose of COVID-19. Metrine,
yes.
Have you been vaccinated?
Not yet.
Not yet. In your office, how are you regulating yourself against COVID-19?
Okay, now we are just letting in. We are serving one person. We don't serve two.
Okay.
And we also have sanitizer in the office.
Okay.
And we also do hand washing outside.
Okay.
Yes.
And I hear there is an International Day for people with disabilities.
Yes.
When is that celebrated, and what happens on that day?
Oh, usually it is celebrated on 3rd of every December.
Okay.
And what happens on that day, we come together as persons with disabilities to reflect on our achievements so far, and reflect on our challenges and way forward. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. I'm being told to check for something. Let me just check them before I watch. Oh, Monica Waguru, thank you so much for viewing. Thank you, viewers. Today we've had Madam Metrine Wamalwa. Again, she is the County Coordinator, National Council for People, for Persons with Disabilities. It has been such an awesome show. We've discovered a lot. Again, if you have a special needs person, child, anybody that you know, any family that you know that has a person with special needs, feel free to go to our office. It's room number 6 at the County Commissioner's office. You'll get so much help. This person is not a written off person. They can be rehabilitated. They can be put on a cash transfer. That is meant to motivate them and also help the caregiver be able to take care of these people. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and catch us next week as we speak to yet another awesome Wonder Woman doing great and nice things in the community. Thank you and good evening.